Thank you very much, Andrea. And now we are approaching the moment that the chairman of the jury will explain what the jury has done and what the final result is. Annelies and me, we have been observers, so we were not members of the jury. But that makes it, I indeed can say that I was impressed, and Annelies too, by what the members of the jury, 10 in total, one was not present, so 9 in total, what they have done. And the way they dealt with it. It was not, and I think that I can say that's better than the member of the chairman of the jury himself, but it took almost 1.5 days to decide on the winner. And he will explain how it all went. But I was impressed as well, and that's for all participants. I was impressed by the quality what the museums are doing in the field of entertaining, educating children. Arno van Berge Henegouwen, the chairman of the jury, the floor is yours.
I saw my first AVCOM. Please stand up. I saw my first AVCOM in one of the hottest countries in Europe. That was in Portugal, and now I see my second one, also in a hot country. AVCOM is a painter who attracts lots of children, as I experienced myself when I was a little boy, when I saw one in the Leiden Museum, where I was not born in the Leiden Museum, I was born in Leiden in Holland. So, who am I? I am a biologist, and I worked in an educational museum in The Hague, in Holland, which was formerly called the Museum for Education, and now it's called the Museum, which apparently is almost the same. So I have experience with education, but I'm from another age. I'm from another age than most of the people working in educational departments in museums nowadays. So I did it my way, you could say, or another way. Anyway, now in my, I just retired. I am very glad that I could join the HOI and also the jury of HOI. And as a member of EMA, because in the first place I am a museum man. So please take that into account. The Children's Museum Award, there are, as you've seen already, there are several candidates, and I will just pass them. I have to sit down because I have to steer the slides. I will pass them all and give them very short report. And after the winner is announced, the jury report on the winner will be read by me in the end. So, there we go. There are in alphabetical order, you cannot see any sign of who is the winner. The trophy that was explained already by Annelies, here it is again. It is one of the most famous Dutch cultural things that we have had throughout the whole world. Entry requirements for the award. That are these. You need to have, as a museum, a space, permanent space, designed for children up to the age of 14. Then, age-appropriate exhibitions and/or programs based on the cognitive, social, and emotional development of children must be organized. Permanent staff and management devoted working for children. This also means that not only a space can be a candidate, but also a whole museum, which you will see later. Dedicated budget for children. Again. Interactive learning experiences and exhibit strategies engaging as many senses as possible. Very important for children, of course. Also for adults, but more for children. Specialist provision for children within the museum sector internationally. And here I want to present you the members of the jury of this year, 2014. Just all the names: Veronica Secoules from Great Britain, Nurit Shiloh Cohen from Israel, Petra Zwaka from Germany, Gail Lord from Canada, Claudia Haas from Germany, and then representing Austria, representing the European Museum Academy. I was the only man in this jury of women. Well, this on the right side, you see Herman Schaefer. I was the only man present. Herman Schaefer was not there, from Germany. Camila González Bú is from Spain. Margherita Sani, well known to you all, I think, from Italy. Andrea Rita from Slovenia. And myself from Holland. And you can see I'm a biologist because I'm photographing a bird. We go to the candidates. Austria is from all over the world: Canada, Denmark, Finland, Germany, Israel, Lithuania, the Netherlands 3 times, Turkey, and United Kingdom. And we hope, and really hope, that in the next years this list will be 3 times or 4 times as long, because children's museums, they deserve attention. They deserve attention from people from outside. The first Austria grants, Frida and Fred Kindermuseum. That's a Kindermuseum, as you say. Children's museum. Children's museums create their own atmosphere. So does Frida and Fred, by asking visitors to feel at home and take off their shoes, and, if smell allows, their socks as well. They have a new building since 2003. It has a very enthusiastic staff, and I believe this is a record. It brings what it has to say in 12 languages, and so it attracts many visitors from all over the world, you can say, 12 languages. The new approach is to create 2 exhibitions on the same topic for 2 age groups. The first age group is 3 to 6 years old, and the second is 7 to 14 years old. That is what this museum is doing. I think it's for the first time as far as I know. One of the examples, architecture about building in the animal world, of course, it was attractive for me. And they just put in animals from all sorts, and then they compared it with technical things. Connect nature with techniques. For example, here, ants, masters in climate control. We are not so good masters in climate control. Ants still are. They, in the Alps above here, ants and ant nests are still active when it is snowing, when it is freezing and far below 0. Spiders, spider webs, and how we build all those things together. A working place for children, all very cozy and, and having a very good atmosphere for children. The second is from Canada, in British Columbia, the Royal British Columbia Museum, Victoria, where it is. This is a very important museum in Canada. It has collections of natural history, ethnography, ethnology, and history. The children's section is rather small, but a new renovation project is underway, and it was told to the jury, children will be the key then. Public activities in the moment are also and mainly carried out by curators and the scientific staff of the museum. So you can say the back of house is serving the front of house where the visitors are coming. That was also the case 30 years ago, for example, in the British Museum of Natural History in London. They did the same. Now they have front of house is education based on science, of course. This renovation will take place in a few years' time. The jury wishes this museum to reapply then. In education in the museum. They have also lots of outdoor activities, excursions. As you can see here, it's all based on experimenting, but also just very important is experience nature, experience animals, feel them, touch them, and smell them. Denmark, Copenhagen. I hope I say it good. Copenhagen, we say Copenhagen. The Danish National Gallery organizes exhibitions for children that continue for almost 1 year. The starting point are the artwork collections. The target group are children of 6 to 12 years old. The works, paintings, sculpture, etc. are presented at a height good for children, so not above their heads, but just in front of them. And they have enough space to see them, to walk around, and also to discuss and to do things with the pieces, the real artworks they see, in groups or alone. The museum chooses difficult subjects like life and death. In recent times, life is for the living only. Death is, you can say, for nobody. Death is not nice. It is hidden behind curtains. In medieval times, death was much more a part of daily life. That is where the museum collections can be of extra use to bring the children in contact with that phenomenon they have to face after the end, until the end of their life. The museum is really helping children to think about these difficult facts of life. An example of nature. Finland. Suwon, I don't know how to express it. Suwon van Rustmuseum. Windy. Windy. I was struck by the name when you mentioned it this afternoon, because there is, I don't know what, we have Vinti. You know what Vinti, of course you know what Vinti is. It's not the same, it's part of the National Museum of Finland, Vinti. Do I say it okay? It is the part of the museum, the National Museum of Finland, dedicated to children from 7 years and older. Their idea of the museum is about learning is doing it yourself without being aware of it. So fun is of course high, and children are learning when they play. That is what the museum wishes to achieve. All the activities in Vinti are connected to the permanent exhibitions. Society's diversity is reflected in the museum's thinking and activities. The museum is proud that it managed to become a place where even teenagers that are mostly lost in our institutions for some years, and we all know why, but they feel at home there, teenagers. Germany, first. Germany has this, not this photo apparatus, but it has lots of, I make a photo of you now. In the open, I'm a free man. You are free people. Sometimes you're not so glad that I make a photo of you. In this museum you can see apparatus like this hidden in a revolver or hidden somewhere else. It's about the world of espionage in Oberhausen. Oh, sorry. This was a very specific one, but I didn't show it. It is a privately financed permanent exhibition, and it opened in 2012. The exhibition is divided in 2 parts. First one is a collection of objects connected with espionage in the German Democratic Republic during the Cold War. Very interesting, and also sometimes you can really laugh about it. The second part is about modern information technologies and their influences on daily lives, on our daily lives. They have developed a QR code tour which guides the visitor with a smartphone through the museum. The visitors in this program are tested if they can be successful spies. So it's really touching. They have programs for children of 6 to 12 years old. The jury missed a little bit the serious consequences for the spies once they were betrayed in their evil, also in their work. So the social part of it was a little bit missing. Lots of enigma is show there. I will not explain it. How to escape. Traveling. Holon, Israel. The Israeli Children's Museum. This is real. For the last one, the German one was not. This is a real 100% children's museum. It concentrates on making children aware of their feelings and emotions. The museum has an international reputation and has an enthusiastic leadership. We, as the jury, were impressed by topics like tolerance and acceptance of the other. One can see this in the 3 exhibits: dialogue in the dark, as we see here it is, about blindness, invitation to silence, about deafness, and dialogue with time about aging. Those 3 things are real experience exhibitions for children in the museum. The guides here are blind, deaf, or over 70, so they work with the real handicapped people. And they give children insight in their active lives. We go to, this is about the exhibition about the deaf, for the deaf. We go to Lithuania, Vilnius, in, I must say, eastern part of Europe. Latvia. This opened in 2012. It is the first museum in Lithuania, especially for children. It is based on toys and games from the 13th and 17th centuries in the country, based on archaeological finds and so on. The findings are the backbone of the museum, the skeleton of the museum. Exhibits on toys range from Stone Age to the modern time. The interactivity is sought in playing with replica toys for children. The museum has great ambitions to develop and build a science museum next to the present museum and connect it with it. So the museum, as it is now, will be a monument, a state monument itself. And we complement it with a modern science museum. The jury is greatly enthusiastic about that. We as a jury felt that this museum can play a role in the development of the Children's Museum in Lithuania and perhaps also in Central or Eastern Europe. Its enthusiastic staff is ready for it, as we found out. Oh, this again. I need help. This is a photo of the museum. Music toys. You missed the sound. Playing with. And a little bit of interactivity with the owl, right? I suppose it will make awful noise. And then we go to the Netherlands. There's 3 candidates. Tropenmuseum Junior. This is an old friend of Hoy. They were the first to win the award in 2012. And I must say, despite financial problems in the main institute, the Tropenmuseum maintained its high quality in Tropenmuseum Junior. What really is new what really is the new form of international financing with the federal state, is the federal state of Pernambuco in Brazil. They cooperate with them in this in the Tropical Museum here at the moment, which means that objects, pieces of art and personal stories could be collected from Brazilian artists, but also objects for the exhibition in Amsterdam. And the way they financed it is really new, because the money is not only coming from Holland, but also from Brazil. The jury felt that this sharing of culture and knowledge is an outstanding example for museums in general, and could be exported, of course. Special artists were chosen to make pieces, to make art for the exhibition in Amsterdam. Glass artists. Children are invited to not to copy, but to get to make their own pieces of art. Like here, this boy sent this photo to the museum after he had seen the bottle walls in the museum, and he made his own chair out of it. Black and white opposites. Kerkrade, the Netherlands. Discovery Center continued. As you may know, the bike, the bike is the means of transport in Holland. Discovery Center continued used its Dutch equivalent, fiets. Fiets. Oh yeah, fiets. There's no fiets here, but it used its the Dutch equivalent, fiets. It's very funny that this word, this Dutch word, is not known where it came from. And the fiets is so Dutch, but we don't know where the word fiets is coming from. Bike is known, fiets is not. Anyway, they used fiets because it stands for, in English, fun, information, experiment, technology, and safety. That is what Continuum stands for. And here you can see something of it. Children get insight in the technical and scientific aspects of the bicycle, for example, but not only the bicycle itself. Continuum also pays attention to other aspects of technology. Yes, there is the bike. Yes, I thought I lost one. Children told all Dutchmen are good bike makers. Playing with electricity, also connected to the bike. It's just a ground project. Middelburg, Zeeuws Museum, which is in the southwestern part of the country. The largest museum in this province, one of the dark cubes, of this museum for children runs up to 18 years old. The museum itself is mainly historical. Using oral history, it shows surprising and unexpected scenes of the past of the islands that were swollen by the sea many times in the past, and taken back by the Zeeben, as we call them. Zeeben are, these are Zeeben. Zeeben are the inhabitants of Zeeland, and the word sea is in the name. And the Zeeben conquered again by the sea now and then and lost it, etc. The jury was very positive for the work with schools, taking active participation in the curriculum of the primary schools. Because of the still difficult connections between the former islands, we have made dikes everywhere, but it still is a problem to come from one island to the other island without going and making a roundabout around. There is a permanent program of loans of objects to schools. In that, the museum is quite good represented. We go to Turkey, leave Holland. Turkey, Izmir, Konak Game and Toys Museum. Opened in 2010. It is the second toys museum in Turkey. The collection dates from the second half of the 19th century and the first half of the 20th. Children's activities are puppets, puppet making, performances by puppet artists during weekends and on holidays. It publishes a children's newspaper, and 6 times a year there is a children's literature magazine. This museum was praised by the jury for keeping alive old games and toys in our rapidly evolving world of technology. United Kingdom, looks like a song contest. Eureka, the National Children's Museum in Halifax. This is the oldest children's museum in the UK, opened in 1992. From that date, 1992, you can see that the children's museums are young, are not, they are 20 years, no more. So we expect and hope more to come. It aims at children from birth until 11 years of age. Special attention is paid here at the museum, is paid to the emotional, intellectual, physical, social and creative development of children. The newest exhibition is all about me. It is about all aspects of the body. It is about good health, development, well-being. In this museum, the children are in the lead and parents follow. Children take active part in thinking about new exhibits and exhibitions. There are special groups for that. You can see that the child is in the lead here on this photo. There's no doctor. In many museums worldwide, children are often ignored. Eureka treats children above their biological and emotional level. The candidates again. This ends my first contribution, and thank you very much.